Winnipeg, Manitoba has a rich history filled with stories of hauntings and paranormal activity. Here are some of the most famous haunted places in the city, and the strange events associated with them. The Fort Garry Hotel. Built in 1913, the Fort Garry Hotel is one of Winnipeg's most luxurious and iconic hotels. Its history is intertwined with tales of tragedy and ghostly encounters, making it one of the most haunted places in the city. Room 202 is particularly infamous. Legend says that a woman hanged herself in this room after hearing of her husband's death. Guests staying in room 202 have reported seeing a figure of a woman in a cloak standing at the end of their bed, or waking up to find blood dripping down the walls. In other parts of the hotel, guests have reported seeing apparitions of people dressed in old-fashioned clothing. Some have felt a presence on the bed as if someone were lying next to them. The hotel's staff also claim to have witnessed strange events like objects moving on their own and unexplained cold spots throughout the building. Dalnavert Museum. Dalnavert Museum is a restored Victorian mansion that once belonged to Sir Hugh John Macdonald, the son of Canada's first Prime Minister, Sir John A. Macdonald. Built in 1895, it offers a glimpse into the life of Winnipeg's elite during the Victorian era. The house is said to be haunted by several spirits, possibly linked to its original owners or past visitors. People have reported hearing phantom footsteps, mysterious whispers, and voices in empty rooms. Museum staff and visitors have felt cold chills and experienced the sensation of being watched, particularly in the basement and attic areas. Objects in the house have been known to move without explanation, and some have seen the apparition of a woman dressed in period clothing wandering through the hallways. St. Boniface Museum. Originally built as a convent and later serving as a hospital, the St. Boniface Museum is the oldest building in Winnipeg and one of the oldest in Western Canada, dating back to 1846. It now serves as a museum documenting the history of the French-Canadian and Métis communities. The building's long history and its use as a hospital have given rise to many ghost stories. Visitors have reported hearing disembodied voices, footsteps, and children's laughter, particularly on the upper floors. Staff members claim to have witnessed doors opening and closing on their own, and objects being moved mysteriously. The ghost of a nun has also been seen wandering the hallways. In the past, paranormal investigators have conducted tours and recorded EVP, electronic voice phenomenon sessions, capturing unexplainable voices and sounds. Vaughan Street Jail. Constructed in 1881, the Vaughan Street Jail was once one of Winnipeg's most notorious correctional facilities, housing criminals, political prisoners, and even those suffering from mental illness. It was known for its harsh conditions and has seen many executions. The spirits of former inmates are said to haunt the jail. Visitors have reported feeling sudden chills, hearing eerie voices, and seeing shadowy figures moving through the cells and corridors. There are tales of a ghostly warden who walks the halls, sometimes heard jangling his keys. Another prominent story is of an inmate who was executed there. His presence is often felt, and some have claimed to hear the sound of chains dragging. The jail's dark history and the presence of suffering have led many paranormal experts to consider it a hotspot for ghostly activity, making it a common destination for ghost tours. The Burton Cummings Theatre. Built in 1906, this historic theater has hosted countless performances and events. It was renamed in honor of Burton Cummings, the lead singer of the Guess Who, but it also has a reputation for being haunted. Some theater-goers and performers have reported seeing ghostly figures in the balconies and seats, especially after the shows have ended. The most common sighting is that of a man dressed in old-fashioned clothing, possibly a past performer or patron. Strange noises, such as footsteps and whispers, are often heard in the empty hallways and backstage areas. Lights are also known to flicker on and off without explanation. There are stories of a ghost named the Lady in White who has been seen wandering the theater, and some believe she may have had a tragic connection to the venue. Seven Oaks House Museum. Built in 1851, the Seven Oaks House is one of Winnipeg's oldest surviving residences. It was the home of John Inkster, a prominent businessman and politician. The house witnessed many historical events, including the Battle of Seven Oaks. The house is believed to be haunted by the spirits of the Inkster family. Guests and staff have reported seeing apparitions dressed in 19th-century clothing moving through the rooms. There have been reports of unexplained footsteps, cold spots, and the sound of doors creaking open and shut on their own. Some have even claimed to see the ghost of John Inkster himself. The house's rich history and connections to Manitoba's early settlers make it a fascinating location for those interested in both history and the paranormal. Winnipeg's haunted locations reflect its deep and sometimes tragic history, offering chilling experiences for those who seek out the paranormal.